there guys, Gateback here and welcome to the channel. Today we will visit some of the most stunning landscapes in Switzerland and in different seasons and weather conditions. You will see that they are truly stunning regardless of when you go there. So we will start our journey from Wasserau and then hike to Seealpsee. I will also share some interesting facts about rural Switzerland, about its history, traditions. In terms of different seasons and weather conditions, so I visited the same place in winter, summer, and in stormy sort of rain type weather. So 2 days were sunny and there's one rainy day. So you will see the same landscapes just in different weather conditions and they are stunning. So Seealpsee is the lake in Alpstein range in canton of Appenzell Switzerland. Seealpsee Lake is located at the elevation of 1,143 meters. Lake can be reached by foot from Wasserau, that's exactly what we're doing, but you can also reach it from Ebenalp by first hiking up and then down, or taking cable car to Ebenalp and then hiking down. Definitely a worthy pursuit. Gorgeous views from there. I will actually share in these videos a few of them. There's a separate video from Ebenalp to Seealpsee. I'll leave it in the description down below, so if you're interested, check out that link. So for most people that are outside of Switzerland, I think Switzerland has this kind of an image of very prosperous, but at the same time rather boring and maybe unexciting rural society. Not sure if you share such an image, but regardless whether you do or not, now this image is certainly outdated. Switzerland is in fact very wealthy and orderly, and for some may seem boring. For me personally, I wouldn't say so. But today in the mountains, you're much more likely to hear current pop music than the traditional folk songs, at least outside of the major festivals, that is. Most Swiss live in cities and not in these idyllic rural landscapes. Very small number of people, in fact, continue the traditional lifestyle, and most of the people that you will meet here are most likely tourists. All of these tiny huts that you see, actually many of them are for rent. You can rent this traditional farmers' lodgings and try to experience the life of the Swiss farmer, minus the hard work, just the environment. In terms of the differences that we've experienced in traveling in different weather conditions and seasons, so in terms of the winter, one of the major benefits is that it's very quiet. There are virtually no tourists. You walk practically alone. Same goes for bad weather, rainy and stormy, like during the weather that we went. So that's a huge benefit. So you basically don't see people at all, hardly anyone. In a good sunny weather, you would actually see a lot of people by the lake, walking towards the lake, walking back from the lake. So there is no this magic, not as much of it anyway. In terms of winter, the huge downside is that all of the places that you see are open now, like inns and restaurants and whatnot, they will all be closed for the winter and will only open in the late spring. In the summer, all of that will be open, late spring and also early autumn. And for hiking, obviously, it's easier to hike when it's a bit colder rather than hot, so make your own choice what works best. In terms of my suggestions in hiking here, always have enough food with you and enough water. Again, I sort of overemphasize it enough because you always feel like that's enough food, but when you start hiking you would constantly feel that you're hungry. So I would suggest doubling on your food supplies and definitely dressing up in layers because the weather changes quite quickly from very hot and sunny to quite cold and potentially rainy, so would definitely recommend having lots of layers so you stay comfortable. Here you see the view from the Ebenalp, which is absolutely stunning and definitely worth the visit. Again, the problem here with the winter travel, in winter, even though the cable cars do usually run, not always, you won't be able to hike back. So what we're seeing right now, you probably won't be able to see if you're coming here during the winter. You are able to go all the way up, but you won't be able to hike down because most of the pathways are completely covered in snow. In fact, they will force you to buy the ticket, the round trip back and forth, to make sure that you don't take the danger of actually hiking down. In summer, obviously, this is entirely up to you. You can hike all the way up and hike all the way down. So now a little bit about the traditional development of the rural settlements in Switzerland. So most of the rural settlements here are actually in the valleys. Most of them characteristic, like most of the commonly traditional villages would be along the base of the slopes, along the base of the mountains. The modern network of small but politically important communes stand out in parallel of major mountains, Jura and Alps. And as the boundaries of the communes are generally drawn by the mountain crests from one to another, every commune has its own basic living necessities that would include pastures, forest, fertile valley bottoms, and water. So the traced slopes, the fact that you'll have a little bit of settlements on every single traces of the slope, is actually quite characteristic of alpine nomadisms. So alpine nomads. That refers to the seasonal movement of the livestock of cows from mountains to the valleys. So basically moving up to the grass. In the later part of the 20th century, this intensity of this practice declined quite considerably. I mentioned in many videos before, I think, and I'll mention again, this is one of my favorite hikes. If you have very little time in Switzerland, I think this would be one of the most impressive hikes you can do in Alpstein region, to go to Seealpsee and ideally visit Ebenalp. That would be all that I wanted to share with you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the journey. Also hope you'll be able to visit. If you like the video, please put that like. If you enjoy such content, please consider subscribing. I post every week or so, and thank you for watching. See you soon. And PS, the preview of future videos, so come back. There'll be a lot more exciting stuff coming up very, very soon.